guys, welcome to the Music Roundtable with our hosts Lyle,
hello,
Clint,
hello,
Kim, hi, and I'm Vicki, where we discuss our opinions and experiences of the music we love, or maybe not.
Credit for you. I'll lead you in. Is that good?
Sure.
Okay.
Did you do anything special, Vicki?
When was that? That was the Sunday, right?
March 30th, yeah.
Okay.
And I've already pressed the button.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Anyways,
We weren't ready.
Oh, this is good though.
I'm okay. I'm okay. You know what? I'm okay with him recording all this and stuff.
I can edit it.
That's true.
okay.
That's true.
Vicky, after we did Glass Tiger on Saturday, March 3rd or 29th, you went to the 54th annual Junos.
Was it the 54th
Wow, you
annual?
have it right down there.
Yes, I looked it up because I was like, which one was it? It's the 54th,
54th
annual Junos with Michael Bublé. How was it? We're jealous. Let's hear all about it.
Well, you watched it, right?
I did.
Yes.
No, it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun to be there in person. I love Michael Bublé. He's absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
And I was, in all honesty, the only complaint I have is that I was hoping for more from him. Because I thought, like during commercial breaks, he'd be out, whatever, working the crowd and schmoozing, and it was other people that were doing that. So
that's
what you saw on
disappointing.
TV was what we saw in person, unfortunately. But that's my only complaint. But other than that, it was so much fun.
Yeah. So did you find it better than watching on TV?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
There were some parts, because of where we were sitting, we were fairly high up. So we were kind of level with the speakers and everything like that. So some stuff during performances was kind of
Iffy? Off?
Yeah, not off per se, but just difficult to make out because it sounded almost like distorted a bit.
Yeah.
Whether that's my own ears or
Well, I mean, we did go to a concert the night before.
that too, yeah. So, I mean, other than that, but I mean, to be there for an event like that in person is just, it was so much fun. It was just phenomenal. The atmosphere.
Yeah. All the energy.
Yeah, the very
air.
Canadian pride that was going on that night. It was,
I did like
for the
his
most
his opening where he talked about Canada. The
Yeah.
pride.
Yeah,
Like,
that was good.
it was really well done. He looked like very much like verklempt, like he was going to cry. So that always makes a good opening.
I thought he was going to perform though.
I did too.
I really did.
well, he
opened
did at the beginning.
Yes.
He did that beginning.
Yes, they did a medley and they
Jumped from.
they did like the 3 songs. They did,
Yeah.
Okay, then I missed the
what was
beginning.
it? Feeling
There you
Good,
go.
Haven't Met You Yet, and they ended with Home.
Okay.
I think I just expected
Okay,
by
so
himself.
I missed the beginning.
Yeah,
I started
same.
late then.
Yeah.
that's
Oh, you
why.
missed that
And what
part,
they
yeah.
did is like some of the acts that were nominated and were performing that night, they actually participated in that medley in. They did part of it in French. They did part of
That
it
was
in
beautiful.
Native.
I was gonna say
Native
I
language,
forget
I
what the
don't
native language was that they
Yeah.
did it. But yeah, so they all kind of, and in Punjabi, I think was the last
Punjabi
part.
was the
Yeah.
last one, yeah.
Okay.
And so, and then he came out or he was out there with them, but he finished off with Home at the end. And before the show started, actually, the people who were working the crowd, it was...
Was it Darcy? Was it Darcy Michael? Because I have that written down because I saw him there.
It might have been, yeah. I'm not...
Overalls and like a toque?
No.
Oh, he's a comedian and he's local.
No. Okay,
Okay.
so it wasn't. So apparently, I asked my friends that I went with who it was because they were like, oh, I know these guys. They always do the Canucks games.
Oh.
So it was like whoever works the crowd. It was a
Okay.
guy and a girl. Do you know who it was?
I don't know their names, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, probably. They're
Yeah.
like, we see them all the time, but I
Yeah.
can't remember their names. So anyway, before that, they were like, okay, so during the performance, Michael's going to finish with Home. When he finishes, he wants everybody to bring out their cell phones and wave their lights. So of course we all did that. And then he was kind of like very emotional about it. Like it was just, because you know how like it lights up the
Yeah.
whole arena and stuff like that. And it was very cool to be there and
Experience that part.
experience that part. And it just kind of, he was like, I'm just a hometown kid that never left.
Never left. Yeah, I like that part.
And I was just like, I love you.
Right? This is Darcy. He was like in the popcorn
Yeah.
area. I don't know what he did because it wasn't shown on the TV.
Yeah, I was going to say, I recognize him. Yeah. They didn't focus too much on that.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
said, pretty much what you saw on TV
Is what you
what
saw?
we saw too.
Because he was like throwing, and one of the things I saw, he was throwing popcorn in Michael Bublé's mouth.
Yes.
Okay,
I
yeah.
remember they were coming back from commercial, and I'm like staring down there, and I'm like, what are they
doing?
doing? Because I could see it throwing popcorn, and unfortunately, Michael Bublé is not very good.
It wasn't very good at catching it. No.
It was not
No.
very good catching. I wasn't sure if you guys actually saw that.
I saw
or
that
not.
part, yeah.
Because it seemed like it was just before they came back from commercial, and then he was doing his thing or whatever.
Yeah, that's the only part. I was like, wait, and I was like, that's Darcy.
Yeah.
What's he doing there? So that's why I was really curious. What was he doing?
That's the guy that you follow and his
Darcy and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I feel like they live on the island. I think they lived in Tawasin at one time. They are actually in Vancouver right now because unfortunately Jeremy has cancer. So they're
Oh.
fighting because they had to cancel their tour because they canceled the tour because Darcy's mom is fighting cancer. And then when they came back,
mentioned that.
so
Yeah.
they came back to take care of her. They canceled or they postponed their tour, and then they found out Jer had cancer. So now they've canceled their tour.
Oh, geez.
I know, bam, bam. But they're amazing. They're so funny. So if you get a chance, definitely check them out. Help them out. They have a Patreon going.
You know, I think. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through like I didn't make note of it myself, but
Yeah.
I was just kind of scrolling through, kind of like the most memorable moments, and I
Yeah.
think. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of somebody else. Never mind.
Oh,
I was gonna say, like I said, that story sounds familiar, and
Yeah.
somebody told that story. I think either during a commercial break or something like that. Maybe.
yeah, probably because it just happened. Like it's really recent. Like in the last couple
Yeah,
weeks.
like I said, it just sounds familiar, and I thought it was a couple of guys that presented an award, but I'm confusing them with somebody else.
That's okay.
So
Yeah, so like from what I saw, like I did kind of we didn't watch it live because we were out, but we watched some the night we got back. We watched about half of it, and then I watched the rest today because I was like, I need to see the rest of this before we do this. There was definitely. It seemed a little odd, a lot of, like the different parts, like just certain acts. I was like, okay, I've never heard of them, or like Lyle, I think you were saying there's a lot of rap.
Yeah, it was stuff that I'd never heard.
Sum 41 was the only band that I knew when
Yeah.
I looked at who was performing
a
and who
job.
was getting
Yeah, they did a
getting
great job.
nominated and stuff like that.
Well, it's like John, your friend John or whatever.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, is this what passes for music nowadays?
Apparently.
That's why I was really curious how it was for you, because I was like, some of it was very interesting, eclectic, and kind of like obviously something we've never listened to, and it wasn't bad. It's just like, oh, well, that was different.
Yeah, that's kind of how I did it too. How
Yeah.
I approached it too. Is like,
Yeah.
because like I said, I only knew of the one band and they didn't perform until the very end.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of like, okay, well, kind of go in with like that open mindset.
Yeah. Mhm.
And not be like, oh, it's not my kind of music. I'm just gonna,
This
whatever.
just sucks.
Yeah, right. I'm just here for Michael, and that's all.
Go, Michael.
I'm wondering if, because I watched it and I was like, wondering from watching all the award shows growing up, like the Grammys and the American Music Awards. and
Did
stuff,
those ruin it for
that
us?
you're
Expecting.
maybe because you're so focused on, well, who's winning, the performances, but it wasn't that flashy like it was.
It wasn't flashy.
No, it wasn't flashy.
was
I think
like
that was very
key.
Canadian.
Yeah, it was very Canadian.
So I'm wondering if that's
we're not going to toot our own horn. Toot toot.
like, it was a stage show. It was basically like they had lights and stuff like that, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of acts that used a little bit of pyro. I mean, there was a little bit. I think it was Snotty Nose Res Kids. They had a little bit of pyro.
I did like them.
Peach Pits
Just their
was
name
another
even.
band. Like I said,
Yeah.
people I haven't heard of, but they were kind of like more like a heavy metal kind of band. They used some pyro, and then Sum 41 at the end used some pyro, but mostly it was just lights.
What was the girl group name? Because I was like, who is that? I know that name.
Beaches?
And
Yes.
Beaches.
Yeah,
Peaches.
Donna knew who they were
Yeah,
because she had seen them
you're-
in concert.
Clint's like,
Yeah.
you know who that is? I was like,
Yeah.
I do. So then he played it. I was like, oh, I do know who this is. And I do like
I
them.
think Donna saw them with the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, that would
Oh,
have been
probably.
cool.
opened up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she's like,
They've
"Oh,
been
I knew a
around
band."
forever.
Yeah.
Was it 20 years?
Yeah.
They've been around
Yeah,
forever.
for 20 years.
I was like, then
I think that's the band. No, it
Yeah.
could be somebody else. This one just started.
oh, then,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. 'cause
Okay, yeah, you
Beaches-
guys must be thinking of something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Beaches have
Beaches
been
has
around.
been around for
They
a
said
while.
that they've been around for like 20 years, and
Yeah.
I was like, really?
what? That's what
Well, that's what she said. And I'm like, well, no, you've heard them before. And she's like, no, I haven't. And so now I'm gonna get the phone out, and they're like, oh, I know this song. Yeah, that's the Beaches.
Maybe it was. I'm not sure.
listen to more Beaches. 'Cause
Yeah.
I really like them.
Yeah, I really liked
Maybe it
them
was.
too.
I'm not sure. It was 3 girls, right?
Yeah.
Girls.
Yeah. Okay. It was the one then. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've been around for 20 years.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then Jonas Brothers have been around for about 20 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Okay.
to be fair,
Yep.
you know,
Okay.
I think since Kelsey was a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. yeah. Okay.
So I did find out something interesting because I was like, well, we should have some information about the Junos.
Yep.
So obviously the 54th annual, we didn't know that. And then did you know that it was originally a reader poll created by the RPM editor Walt Graylis and a record executive Stan Cleese. So then it was renamed in 1971 from Reader Poll to RPM. Sorry, it was called RPM Gold Leaf Awards to the Junos after. And why was that, Vicki? Or who was it
They
named
didn't
after?
say why. I had that in my notes
Oh,
too
did you?
that I made because during the commercial breaks they were kind of
Yeah.
like doing different trivia and stuff like that. So I had made a note of that, and they kind of gave like a multiple choice.
Oh, did they?
And had like
I had
asked some
no
people in the
idea.
inner circle of the
It was named after Pierre Juno.
Juno. Yeah,
Oh.
I had no idea.
had a little. Here we go.
A little blurb about
A
this?
little blurb about him. So
Okay.
he was a Canadian film and broadcast exec.
Oh.
A one-time member of the Canadian Cabinet, the first chairman of the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, and subsequently president of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
I had no idea.
He's credited with the creation, promotion, and championing of Canadian content requirements for radio and television. And then it says Juno is the namesake of the Juno Awards.
Very cool.
That's really cool. I had no idea until I
Yeah.
read that. I was like, that's really interesting. The fact that it was a reader poll. It was never actually a show. It was like a reader poll.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So interesting. I also found it interesting when I was watching it, because I don't think I've watched the Junos a lot over the years, every once in a while. But yeah, they don't have it like the American award ceremonies. There's no tables where they're sitting and waiting for their awards to be called. They're just like waiting in the wing.
That's what it looked like. So
Yeah.
there was like the stage, and then there was like kind of at the front of the stage, if you want to call
Yeah.
it, because they had like the main stage on the end, and then they had like a almost like a runway that came out kind of
Yeah.
like halfway out to the arena, and then you could see there were kind of like 2 cabinets or whatever holding the awards.
Yeah.
And then just like a bunch of people were kind of like in the pit on either side of
Kind
that
of like the
runway,
rodeo
and then,
coming in the...
yeah. And then like we were wondering too, is like where are the artists sitting and stuff like
Yeah.
that? And they weren't really sitting; they were standing basically at the end
when
of
it's
the stage.
their turn to go... Yeah.
Yeah, waiting for their turn to go
Weird.
up on stage.
But interesting. I just,
And then every once in a while, you'd see them walking on either side of the stage,
Yeah.
backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
because we saw the one, because there was that one that you liked. It was the teacher, the
Oh, the teacher
Yes.
award.
Oh, that
the
was
te-
so
I was gonna
cool.
bring that up
Teacher
too.
award.
I love that
was-
part.
and as you
One of
had
the highlights.
all the teachers were there,
Yeah.
kind of in that corral,
Yeah.
and all this. So you saw that, and then obviously the one lady won or whatever. You know, she's brought up out of the crowd and stuff.
That
So
is
Good. Like
such
she was
a
so emotional
Canadian
too.
award.
It was awesome.
The
Yeah.
best award I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Ever. I was like, yes, please let
Is
us.
that? Do you know if that's a new award?
I don't know. I'm curious because I have seen the Junos in the past, and I don't remember ever seeing that award. But like I said, what
Not
a
on the
Canadian
Junos,
award!
yeah.
But I like the fact because they're recognizing the teachers that are teaching music
Yeah,
Yes.
and bringing music.
yeah. Because do you
Back?
remember when
Jeannie
teachers-
Hunter was her name.
Yeah,
Okay.
when music teachers were cut from the school districts. Like
Yeah.
I remember that
Yeah.
happening. We need music in the schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is beautiful that they're recognizing these teachers, and I was just like, oh, I was like, okay, that's really lovely. Like how
It was.
you know, and she could barely talk, and it was just so
Yeah.
nice to see somebody win something that it's your life
Actually
work.
means
It is, yeah.
something.
Means something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that, music awards don't mean anything.
No,
I don't mean
but
that,
you're
but
teaching
just
the youth something, and,
Exactly.
You know,
You're just
Yeah.
a teacher, and it's kind of that. Yeah, you're getting recognized as a music
yeah,
with music, but you're getting recognized as a teacher.
Yeah.
and what you've done for children.
That's right.
Like, I mean, oh my gosh, goosebumps.
Considering considering like how much teachers like
Put
they're
of
always-
themselves into
yeah,
Yeah.
they don't get paid
don't
enough,
get paid
and
enough, yeah.
what they have to
so
deal
much
with
of
in
their
the
free
schools.
time is given up
That's
to
right.
school
This
and
was
stuff.
so
Yeah.
It's so
nice.
needed.
Yes,
They should
very
do more
much
of
needed.
that.
Yeah.
Like, Goodness.
Yeah. That was one thing. I totally
beautiful
forgot
day.
about that. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely a highlight of the thing. I would
One of the
say.
highlights, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to have
Yeah,
that
I
recognition.
loved that Michael Bublé and his wife presented that award.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that
were
was
so
good.
cute together on
So
stage.
cute.
They're funny.
She's like,
that was
yeah,
funny.
you look okay.
All right, on with the award.
but aren't you going to say, I look okay? Yeah, you look okay.
How were
Yeah.
the like what we saw on TV is one thing, but
Yeah.
how were the performances like overall, like
Mm-hmm.
of each artist? Like,
Again, not being familiar with most of them,
Mm-hmm.
I could just say that. I mean, what you saw on TV was, like
Okay,
I said,
so
what
it's-
we saw in person.
Yeah. Ooh, the Canada
I
flag
can't
part.
say-
That's what I want to ask you about. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I can't say that one was better than the other.
okay.
And you also said you had the speakers there, and it wasn't
Yeah,
that
that's-
great.
Yeah, yeah,
So it was
so-
almost like seeing performance at a parade or in, the Peony or whatever.
Kind of,
right?
yeah.
Like kind of that atmosphere, like of artists you've never heard of. I can remember that when you.
Well,
go
there's
to,
one
like-
guy that solo artist. I'm pretty sure I can't remember his name.
Oh, Josh Ross,
Yeah.
Ross, I had heard of. Sorry, Josh
Yes.
Ross.
Josh Ross.
I want
country singer, yeah.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
he
start- I
won
wanna
Country
learn-
Album of the Year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's country. What am I doing?
Hey, country is rock.
It is.
It
And
is, yeah.
It seemed like that's probably why I'm
I
like.
did write
it's-
him
One
down
one
actually.
of the
Yeah.
one of the nominees on there was Dallas Smith. Dallas Smith used to be the singer for
I
Default.
love Dallas Smith.
But
Yeah.
country, like I didn't even realize that it was country,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is good.
It was good. Yeah.
Music. It doesn't. You can.
Yeah.
I loved
Transformer.
how he said, I just want my records to be heard all over the world.
It was beautiful.
That was it. Yeah. Very simple. It's like proud to be Canadian.
Yeah.
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 No, it was good.
See, at the end of the day, isn't that what any of us want? Is our music or our sounds to be heard?
Yes,
Pretty
exactly.
much.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for everybody to know you for something that you've done, that you've accomplished. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Miss Anne Murray.
Oh my gosh, that was my favorite part of the whole
Yeah.
night.
How beautiful.
It was so beautiful
She looked
to
great,
have Sarah
sounded
McLachlan
great. Yes.
like do the intro and everything, and she was emotional, and then
Yeah.
Anne Murray was emotional, and she gave the best speech.
did
and
give a really good speech.
it was just that was my favorite part of the whole night.
So I was playing on my phone, and then she comes, and then when they announced it was going to be her, and I was just like, just put the
just
phone
gonna
down,
put
Yeah.
watch
Respect.
everything.
Yeah,
you have to.
absolutely,
For that
100%.
talent.
mad
and-
respect, right? Like,
Yeah.
She's a, what did I call her earlier? A Canadian icon? No, that wasn't it. A treasure.
Canadian
Yeah.
treasure,
Canadian
absolutely.
treasure.
Yeah, and first thing once the speech was over, I was like, yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah, it was good
Yeah,
from her
I
hockey
cried.
jersey.
It was
Did you?
amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, in her sparkly Canada jersey. Yeah.
It was so
To me, that was the highlight of the whole night.
Oh, 100%.
Just watching
Yeah.
it there. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
three things: the Teachers Award, and Sum 41.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah,
else.
that was the cool thing too. Like I said, I've never been like a huge fan of Sum 41. Like I know some of their songs.
Yeah.
But to be there again in person to see their very last performance,
Yeah.
I have to say that's pretty cool.
That's pretty
And
cool.
how are your feelings on Sum 41? Wow.
We're not going to talk about that.
Why not? This is the
Why
perfect
not?
place to talk
Exactly,
about
yeah.
this.
It's all good.
You don't like Sum 41?
He has.
I
a
like Sum
bone to
41,
pick.
but I have a little different take on that.
Do you not know the story
Oh
behind
yes,
this?
I do know the story.
Okay.
Yes, he did
Yeah.
say the story. Just
Yeah.
brain fog moment. Sorry, but yeah, I
yes.
get it.
Good on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. They're good at what they did.
Like, it's too bad they have to retire.
Why do they have to retire?
They were just, that's it. Like,
I didn't hear why they retired.
I know he
I didn't
wasn't.
really hear
I
why
think
either.
He's not
It
well.
was the singer, yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
Derek has to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, he sounded great. They sounded great as a band.
They did sound really good.
So it's
Yeah.
too bad. Like, I don't like when people have to,
They have no choice.
they have no choice, or they decide to retire, or just, like I was just saying earlier, a couple of members from Godsmack, just, that's it. They're done.
Yeah.
Retired.
Yeah.
After being in the business for 30 years.
Yeah.
Just calling it a day. It sucks
It
because
does
you
suck.
see other artists like the Rolling Stones or those
And they're
guys.
still
like,
going.
They're still going.
Yeah.
It's something that you love to do, and you
I
have to
chose yeah.
stop.
yeah.
Either
for
you're
one
forced out of return,
incident.
like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it just,
Yeah, when it's forced on you like that, that's not cool.
if you want to go on your own terms,
Yeah, you didn't
then
get to go, yeah.
fine. That's totally up to you. Or like Kiss saying they're retired, but they're coming back. But you know,
always
it's
do
you
that.
never know.
you never know. Like if they can
Kiss
do
is
one-offs.
retired until there's a paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I'm always disappointed when somebody has to give up something that they truly love, and they did it
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah.
Been your life's work, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. And
Yeah.
you can't share it anymore.
Yeah.
You're not going to put any more
But maybe
albums
they'll
out.
do something in a different way
Maybe.
artistically. It
Maybe
might just
we don't
not
know.
be music, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. They might come back from one-offs here and there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Different
Well, as long as they have
projects.
the freedom to do that. But yeah,
Exactly.
no, that's a great
Yeah.
thing.
They sounded great. And yeah.
For the people listening, I am going to give a quick Cole's Note version to Lyle's,
Lyle's take on
is
741.
in the past, Lyle was in a band and they were considered for a record deal, and pretty much it was up between their band and Sum 41.
I believe that's what it was.
You believe
Yes.
it was?
That's what it
No,
was.
sure.
Obviously, Sum 41 is the one that the network went with.
Otherwise, you'd know who Lyle is.
Obviously, pretty much. Obviously, that worked out in their favor.
Yeah.
This would be a whole different podcast if it had been the other way around.
I don't think there would be a podcast of Lyle.
never-
There would be. You can't leave a friend. Come on. Friends will be friends.
Yeah.
Oh no, I would still be around him whether or not. I don't know if he'd want to do a podcast after.
Of course he would.
Oh, yeah. If you can't put out music, you can,
You can
talk
podcast.
about it.
That's right.
So
Heck yeah.
I got this version now instead.
That's right.
You're famous in another way.
That's right.
Not putting out music. We're just talking about it.
Talking about it instead.
Which is hilarious because that was the whole premise on this. Is Lyle came to me. Do you want to talk about music like we do all the time?
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll just put a mic in front of you instead. Yeah.
I'm just going to record it and put it out there for everybody to listen in.
There you go.
You mean eavesdrop? Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So,
That was your little, yeah.
yep.
That was the
All
spiel.
good. It was
Yes.
meant to be that way.
That's
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it was Good Charlotte's Benji and Joel Madden that I was thinking of because they were
Okay.
talking about they were brought on stage to do the induction for Sum 41 into the Canada Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they had come up together and all that kind of stuff.
That's
so,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I think where I was confusing stories. But
Oh, yeah. No, it's okay.
yeah.
And it wasn't as long as you had expected either, right?
It was not. Like I was expecting, like I said, our ticket said 5 to 8. Everything online said 5 to 8. It was over at like 5 after 7.
Oh, that's what shocked me. I'm like, it's over already? I was
okay,
like,
so
wait a
what's
second.
happening for the rest of it? Like, are we going to see Michael come out and perform a little bit? Like, what's going
Yeah.
on? So my friends and I sat there until like literally like half the arena had left and they pulled up all the lights and we're starting to clean up and we're like, oh, okay, it's over.
Like, I thought there was going to be more, or that you were there earlier and that they had more awards before that they.
Well, they
did have like apparently on Saturday nights they had this
days,
whole Juno Awards gala where they
Yeah.
did most of the award giving. I gather
Oh, okay.
from what I've read
So
and
see,
they've
that
talked
would-
about. And
Bet you anything that was with like tables and people sitting there and going up.
that's what it
That's
sounded
so
like.
why wouldn't
Yeah,
they show us that?
Well,
You
how many
know?
awards did they get?
There's so many.
No, just on Sunday night.
just on Sunday
The one that
night,
you saw, yeah.
a dozen maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't very many.
It wasn't
Okay.
very many.
Which is just weird.
Yeah.
See, that was one of the things that was fun of, like obviously a Saturday we were out doing errands. Obviously you're at the show, which is
Yeah.
obviously you were watching it at
Yeah.
home. So we get home and all of a sudden like, yeah, Vicky's telling us it's over. We haven't watched it. I'm trying to find
Yeah,
I'm trying to find it live, and like the Vancouver feed
It's over.
No, the Vancouver feed hadn't even started
Oh,
yet.
Yeah.
So like
like,
you're already
oh,
at home in your pajamas, and now we're finally getting to watch the
I got
Vancouver
home
feed.
and I was like, oh, I'll turn on the Junos and watch it again because I was home before 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
was so bizarre. I was like, what do you mean it's done?
Yeah.
And I was like, shouldn't it? Okay. Because I'm used to the award ceremonies being
Being
so
so
much
Oh, I thought it was going to be
long.
3 or 4 hours long. 3
Well,
hours
I
long.
think that's
3
why
hours is what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think they do like the multi-days and stuff like this. And I think what it is,
to help alleviate that long.
yeah, like I
award
think
show,
a lot
yeah.
of people don't care for, this award goes to and this award goes
Mm-hmm.
to. They just wanted more performances and all this. So we'll highlight a few of the awards. Here's some performances, and
Yeah.
you're out the door.
Oh, yeah. Like
But yeah,
the-
like I said, I was just
Grammys
expecting
and
it to
stuff
be
like that,
longer.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
there's-
do the more popular awards, like Record of the Year, Song of the
Yeah.
Year.
So this
Yeah.
one has 46 awards across various categories. Number of nominees was 208. Let's see. Juno honoring.
Was that for the
ceremony.
whole thing, like including the gala and
I
everything?
think so. Was it called the Juno honoring ceremony on March 29th? Is that what
Yeah, that's
probably what it
probably,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, it's called Juno Week, March 26th.
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of
29th.
events leading up to it, too.
So interesting.
Downtown and everything, yeah.
So people were here for a week doing stuff.
Yep.
Wow.
We just don't see it.
No.
So
No.
that's interesting.
But it's always a good, like obviously.
And there was an after party at the Commodore.
I knew about that.
Which
Yes.
apparently,
Yes.
yeah. So what I remember when I was looking at tickets in November when they were originally released,
Yeah.
you could buy tickets to the after party. And then when I looked, I was been humming and hawing since November about whether or not I wanted to go.
Yes.
When I finally decided that, yeah, okay, maybe I do. Went to go look online, and they're like, oh, you have to be invited. Like, excuse me?
Why can't I buy a ticket?
Couldn't buy tickets. There was nothing left.
Weird.
Yeah, it really did. Because I was like, dang. Oh, well.
Crazy.
Too bad they couldn't have the after party at Rogers Arena. Then.
No, listen,
Right.
Vicky,
After the
Vicky
show.
would have been in
I'd
there
have been-
partying with Michael Bublé.
Totally would. It'd been like a really late night, and then I'd been really bad at work on Monday. Yeah.
Worth it.
But I don't
It's
care.
totally worth
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of awards, like different R&B, alternate rock, dance, electronic. So yeah, they only gave us a snippet really of what
Yeah.
what was being done.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wonder why.
I found it interesting too that when they had people up accepting their awards and stuff, they basically gave them like 30 seconds to do their speeches.
Yeah.
And there was like, teleprompter far off stage or whatever. And I remember there was one, I think it was Nemesis actually, that when she was talking, it actually started blinking, please rap, because she was taking too long. Because it would do a countdown, it'd be like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, and then please rap, and give them like, another 5 seconds or whatever, right? And then it, like I said, it started blinking because they were like, hey, get off the stage, like get off the stage, stop talking, get off
Wrap
the
it up.
stage.
Wrap it. Maybe that's also why they give you that window on your ticket of how long it's going to take in case there's a problem, in case people go long, et cetera, et cetera.
Maybe they have
So-
some kind of technical issue or something,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with a live show or
Well,
whatever.
that's just
so
it, yeah.
anything can go wrong.
Well, I love too, like on the, I mean, you guys would have seen it on TV as well, but it was like before they came back, be like, this is a live broadcast, there may be, foul language, like sexual content and nudity. And we're like, sexual content and nudity, what the hell? Like,
the
save
heck's
like a
gonna happen?
wardrobe malfunction
Yeah.
or something. But I'm like, okay, that was kind of a weird warning, but all right.
I don't remember paying for that special ticket.
Right?
What's going on?
Yeah.
That's a different kind of show.
That's a
That's
different
right.
show. Yes.
Yeah, I think Anne Murray was the only one that they didn't
Didn't tell to get off the
tell to
stage.
get off stage.
She
but
probably could have kept going.
Well,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going to say, I did notice her speech was on the teleprompter too. So
Oh, that's smart. They probably
Yeah.
tell them how long they get too. They probably
Probably,
you can just
yeah.
Make sure you have a speech that's about
Well,
10
like 2
hers
minutes or
hers
whatever,
was a
2-3
lifetime
minutes.
achievement award. right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So on those they always make, like, even on the other award shows.
Yeah.
There's always a special that it's different than the
oh
other.
yeah, for sure.
other
Yeah,
awards.
I
So,
certainly
yeah.
didn't expect it to only be 30 seconds, but I was like,
You got as much time as you wanted.
pretty much,
Right.
yeah.
We're celebrating
what it
you
should be,
here.
though.
You want to talk for an hour? We have to listen.
But
I'd be okay with
you
that.
should have
Would
as
be.
much time as you want.
when it's
Yeah.
lifetime achievement. I was surprised by that because we watched it obviously when you came by, right? So 32 albums she has. I was really shocked by that. I had no
Right?
idea. No idea.
No.
No,
Like I knew Anne Marie sang a lot. There's a
Well,
lot of
she's
songs.
been doing it for a long time.
But 32 albums.
32 albums, yeah.
How many artists
no
do you
idea.
know that have 32 albums?
Like if
Besides
you,
Anne-Marie.
I was gonna say, if you look in the 70s though, like it wasn't uncommon for an artist to put 2 albums out a year.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still.
Still, it's 32 albums. Do the math. Quick, do.
Okay.
Okay,
Hold on.
we just talked about Queen, and they only got up to like 15 by the
Yeah.
Yeah,
early
but,
90s.
Yeah, but look how long their actual career was. Their career
Yeah,
was
but
actually
Anne
very.
Murray started in the 70s.
68?
Yeah.
68?
So late 60s, early 70s. They started in the early 70s.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Like 32
like,
albums,
32
that's a lot.
that's two.
That explains why she has 25 Junos, though.
That does explain why
Yeah.
she has
that's
so many.
that's one album every 2 years, so that's not that uncommon.
I don't know. It
Not in the
seems-
70s. In the 80s, it became a little less common. In the 90s, it certainly wasn't.
And fight.
So there.
I said what I said.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I think it was just surprising. Like that
was
just
very
seems
surprising.
like a lot of albums. But then I don't know what did her career go from till like start and finish, right? That I guess that's the question. Over how many years was the 32 albums?
Okay, so I just looked up because I was curious. So
Okay.
Rolling Stones, 31 studio albums.
Rolling Stones. Okay, well they've been around forever.
Yeah, since the
So-
early
Yeah, they're
60s,
older
yeah.
than dirt.
I was trying not to say that. Yes.
Honestly, that's probably, I think, the only artist that would come close.
So she was active 1967 to 2008.
So we were close
Okay,
beforehand,
so
yeah.
So what is that? Minus 2008. That is 41
840.
years.
Yeah.
So it's
That's a
yeah,
long
like I
time.
said,
That's almost an album a year.
no, every 2 years. That's an album every 2 years.
32,
32 albums
into 41.
41.
Oh, 41.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know where I was thinking. 60. Yeah. Okay.
It's about an album every year and a
About an
quarter.
album, yeah.
Year and a half.
Holy crap. Holy crap.
Yeah.
She's just
But see,
belting them out.
I don't
I
even
know.
know any of her music past, say, mid 80s, though.
No, me either. So it's like, what, maybe some of them are compilation or
Maybe.
greatest hits or whatever. I just, fascinating.
you find?
Anyways.
Oh, okay. Fine.
He found something
just-
not music related.
That's not
Apparently.
music related.
Rude.
Yeah, so the,
Shut
the
up.
Canada flag thing.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to ask you. Were you under the flag at all?
Do you want me to
We
just...
were not. It was
Damn
actually,
it.
they did, the first one was across from us.
Yeah.
And then the second one was below us because we were up in the upper section. So it was across the lower bowl seats.
Oh, because Brad, what's his name? Brad, you went to school with him. Jerks.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
He was under one of them.
Oh, was
Oh,
he?
was he?
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yes. I was like, I wonder if Vicki got to go under one of the flags.
I did not. No, we were
No.
too high up for that.
Dang.
Do you want me to tell you what I was just showing, Clint?
Yes.
Yes.
You paused on that. You were too high.
Not that
there
kind
we
of
go.
high. I had no munchies after the fact. And I think it was too short and not enough rappers there anyway. Warrants
cause
that
a
kind
problem.
of
That's fair. Who was
Haze.
the rapper that won? He won an award, and he's been around apparently forever. Which I was like, what?
oh, was that
was at
he
the
was funny
beginning.
too.
Yeah.
He's like, and my name is not
Right.
Baby Nas. It's BB No Money.
Yeah.
BB No Money. But it's spelled
And he's the one
BBNO
that-
with a dollar sign.
Because he said he grew up with Drake, or they was that the one?
Came up together.
Came up together.
Oh, you're thinking of Boy Wonder. He was the producer that.
Producer,
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, the
J-
other one was funny too.
I have to go back into my notes and see. Go ahead, tell.
Okay, so this isn't music related, so I happen to see on my feed. But
Because Lyle wasn't listening; he was playing with his phone. Okay, what?
I was looking up the Rolling Stones, and this happened to be
I
on the
know.
phone. Alex Ovechkin just tied Wayne Gretzky's scoring record, so he's got
that's
one more to go to beat
sad.
it.
Well, there goes another
Okay,
iconic.
that's
thing.
scoring record.
Okay.
Scoring
Gretzky will still have more points.
But if Ovechkin scores in the next one, they've tied in games as well as goals. Anyway,
So
totally
basically,
music
yeah,
related.
yeah, okay.
That's off topic.
All right, I found
Here we
it.
go.
Okay,
Thank
so the woman who won Rap Single of the Year, her name is Jessie Reyes.
Yes.
She came on stage and presented to Boy Wonder
Yes,
his
that's the
International
one.
Achievement
That's
Award.
what I was thinking. Wasn't he? He wasn't a music artist
He-
first.
No, apparently he
Oh.
was a producer the whole
He
time.
col- he
He
collaborated
came up
with
with
Drake or
Drake.
whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, came
he
up with
started
Drake,
off with
yeah.
Drake. That was his first collaboration,
Okay.
and then he's been involved with
'Cause I was
like
like,
so many people.
Obviously,
since then.
I hadn't heard of him.
No.
But I was like, he's been around that long. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
But
like
you
saying,
have-
he was behind
Yeah.
like behind the scenes
a lot of
and
music
stuff.
Yes.
that we know.
And yeah, I think he actually went to school with Drake, and that's
Yeah.
how they.
I think so.
I think that's how they did it.
Yeah. He just said, we started this together. We did this together.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Drake and all the sacrifices he made, all the doors he kicked down for a lot of people.
Yeah. That's nice.
That's good.
That was a good speech too.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that part too. And even Jessie's speech before they brought him up was just like, because she's really good friends with him too, apparently.
Yeah.
And it was
Nice.
a lot of cool moments like that.
Yeah. What did you think of their outfits? There's some interesting
Oh my gosh,
outfits
I
that
loved
night.
the costumes that they
Yeah.
were wearing at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
that
the drag queens at the
all the
beginning.
drag
the
queens
drag
at the beginning.
queens.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I wasn't a fan of Baby No Money's kind of.
Song music kind
Yeah,
of. Or
I
his
don't know.
outfit.
His outfit.
His outfit.
His
yeah,
outfit. Yeah.
I know. I was like, what is going
Somebody
on?
called
It
it
was weird.
toilet paper or something.
Yeah, because there was writing on it. It was swirled
Yeah,
around. I was
and it
like,
was
I
all
don't
swirled
understand.
Oh,
Like,
yes,
I didn't
because
get
I
it.
remember you're like, what is on his arm?
I'm like, is it supposed to be there?
That's right. I was like, I don't quite get that. And then whoever was wearing the rainbow dress, I was like, that is beautiful. And she had all the ladies dancing with her.
I don't remember the rainbow dress.
It was like, oh, it was so pretty. That's what I called it, was the rainbow dress.
rainbow
and then
dress?
she had all the ladies with her that had the same, not rainbow, but had like a color of it. They were all dancing around her when they were singing. It was, I think it might have been during the opening, maybe.
Probably. That's what I'm thinking.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was some really nice
But yeah, it was
outfits.
some pretty cool stuff going on there. It was definitely something I'm glad I did.
Would
It
you
was
do it
something
again?
kind of I was unexpectedly did, because when we
Yeah.
bought the tickets, we thought it was just for Michael Bublé, not for the
Right,
Junos.
not
It wasn't
for
until
Junos.
afterwards that we
Oh,
realized
okay.
that's what it was for.
Ah,
Yeah, because we
So-
thought Michael Bublé was coming.
Yeah, because that's how I remember it being
Announced.
announced
Yeah.
at the time or whatever. Yeah, that Michael Bublé was performing in Vancouver again. So I was like, yeah, let's go again, because I went with these friends the last time he was here, and
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun, and we all love Michael, and
All good reasons.
right.
Okay.
That's not
But
what it
yeah,
was.
and then like I said, it ended up being the award show, and I was like, okay, well that's cool. Let's go and
something
See
different.
what's- yeah,
and
something
exactly.
different.
Yeah.
Part of history, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Well,
With the
like I said,
Anne-Marie.
with Anne Marie and some
Some
41's
41's.
Yeah,
last
you got a
performance.
you got a
and-
good one.
That was a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Would you go again?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going next time.
I think it would be
Yeah.
good depending on who's going to be there. That would be my thing. Like, who's getting inducted? Who's getting the lifetime achievement? Then you'd be like, okay, I want to. Yeah,
You
I'll
want
go
to be there for that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
it-
would go anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to be part of that. Just
I'll
say
go
you were
again,
there.
definitely, if Michael Bublé hosts again.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's like the fourth
Heck
time
yeah.
he's done it, apparently.
He'll probably do it again.
Yeah.
Probably because everybody likes it. Like he was
Yeah.
good.
He'll be disappointed
is.
if he's not
He's-
invited again.
Yeah.
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 I'm sorry, I
very good.
remember watching there's the trailer
commercials?
commercials for
Yeah.
it. He's like, they've asked me to do it. Well, actually, I asked them to do it, but
Because he
Well,
wants to.
and
do it.
he's one of those people, too, that, like, what you see is what you get. Like, he's
Yes.
not just putting it out there for
No.
show. Like, he's legit
That's
that
how
nice
he
of a
is.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, when he was at the WestJet section, he was ready to fire the shirts or whatever.
Yeah.
And he mispronounced WestJet.
Yeah, wet jet. I was
Wet
like,
jet. And he couldn't talk, and he
yeah,
transformed
tried to do
his
Arnold,
voice.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
that is the
Oh my
worst
gosh,
Arnold
that was
impression.
so funny.
That was
But that's
so
cool.
funny.
Like they didn't even like. He's like, yeah, I screwed up, whatever, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, yep, doesn't matter.
It's a live show, man.
Just
This
keep
is what
going.
Yeah, you
happens.
have to, right?
Roll with
but
the
he could roll
punches.
with it
Kind
though,
of like us.
Yes.
pretty much.
What did we say? Nothing. Back
Exactly.
paddle, back paddle. We're
I was gonna
just
say, well, he is co-owner of the Giants up
Yeah.
there, and I've gone to a few games. I still haven't seen Michael there, but
I thought we saw him once there. I thought
Did we?
once. Yeah, once.
oh, maybe once, but
I think he was there that night we were in the
in the box.
In the box.
My girlfriend who lives in Ireland, most of her family is here still, right? And her sister and a niece and a few other family members were at like a big birthday. I can't remember whose it was, but it was like a 50th or 60th birthday, something like that. And the restaurant that they went to, Michael Bublé was there. So her niece actually has a picture with Michael Bublé at that
Nice.
restaurant.
Braved it and went up to him and got
Yeah.
a
But
picture.
I could actually
yeah.
see him probably doing that.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's some stars that would be like go away type thing, but I
Yeah.
think he would be
Well,
one of those
even
ones.
at his last concert, he's like, hey, if you see me at the grocery store or whatever, come over and say hi. And I'm like, oh yeah, we will.
Don't you worry. We
Absolutely.
will.
See, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, because you don't want to interrupt
Yeah,
them.
but then I'm like that too. I see, hey, I went to school with that person, and I walk the other direction.
In other words, if anybody sees you, they need to come up to you and say hi.
Well, I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you,
yeah,
you
loud
talk to
talker.
everybody.
Now.
Who is that? Oh, I don't know. I just met them.
Just had an hour-long chat. It was lovely.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Yes, I will talk to anybody. Anyway,
But yeah. So yeah, I would do it again.
cool.
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Like I said, kind of based on who
Yeah,
who's
who's gonna
presenting and
present and
who's or who's hosting.
Because what if you went there and
whatever
you
else.
didn't know any of them? You'd be like, interesting, but
Yeah.
Well, interesting though. Like
I mean, glad I was here, but I didn't really enjoy it as much as something
in some
I would
senses,
know.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would never know everybody that's in there. and
No, but
stuff.
you need to
No.
know like one or two.
Yeah.
One or two is good, and then the rest of the
Exactly.
show you kind of go, oh, okay, that was interesting, but then you're waiting for that one moment,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
It was so
it's-
funny. Every commercial break there too. They're like, okay, so Anne Murray's going to be inducted or given a Lifetime Achievement Award. Sum 41 is going to be inducted. Just, on after this next break, so and so or whatever. And we're like, okay, come on already,
How long do you need to break for?
right?
Fast forward. Damn it, this isn't working.
Why do I have to get all the commercials?
Yeah. They're like, are you still waiting? We're like, yes, we are.
Yes, hurry up.
It'd just be interesting to see it. I don't know. You just live in the moment and
Yeah, exactly.
It would
Take
be
it
a
all.
cool experience. I'm glad you got to go to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was
I think
kind
next time I'd like to be a little bit lower, a little bit closer to what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, for a first
Yeah.
visit, I was just like, this is cool.
This is
Just
good.
to be here is awesome.
Yeah, because the closer you are, you get a little more action, right?
Yeah.
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 Like the Canada flag thing.
Yes. That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would
Clear
be
the
good.
candle flame.
But yeah, I took some video of that when it was across from us.
Yeah.
So it kind of like looked like it came out of one side and then
Went
went
down
back
into the
down
other.
on the other side. And
That's cool.
yeah.
The moving of the flag.
The moving of the flag. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right.
Interesting.
Well, it was interesting. Thanks for
Yes.
letting us know about that.
Yeah.
No worries. Right. Well, with that, we'll catch you on the B-side. Cool.
Thank you for joining us on the Music Roundtable. Please like and comment where you listen to the podcast. And make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter and let us know what you'd like us to talk about. Until next time.